Good morning. Welcome to Commissioners' Work Sessions for November 16th. We'll start with the correctional facility, please.
Good morning.
Morning, Jack.
Good morning.
Today I'm requesting to approve the change of the current population control assistant from full-time to per diem position. Rate of pay would be the same as all the other CCCF per diem positions.
Any questions for Jack? Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Jack.
County Treasurer?
Good morning.
Morning.
Christine.
Morning, Christine.
I'm here requesting you to approve and sign a 3-year agreement for the computer services with government software services. Keith Button has already reviewed the agreement.
Any questions for Christine? Okay.
Thank
The
you.
courts?
Morning, Heidi.
Good morning.
Morning,
Morning,
Heidi.
Heidi.
This morning, we're seeking some signature and for next week ratification of a contract with Catalina Land Service for snow removal at the MDJ Burn-In Office. It's good through March 31st, 2023 at $45 a plow.
Okay.
Did the prior person say they weren't gonna do it anymore?
Correct.
Okay,
And so this is our half. This is gonna be shared again with the other, but this is our half. So
Okay.
they're kind of doing it as two separate things.
That was a
great,
contract you never find again with the other guy.
Yeah,
thank you.
Okay.
exactly. And we're also asking approval for an amendment to the cleaning contract for the MDJ Titusville office. It's not Vernon, that's incorrect. The cost is $30 a week with B&A cleaning services. And this will capture the probation corridor. We'd spoken
yeah,
about
yeah.
that at budget time. So that will be under that one thing.
That makes more sense now.
Yeah,
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Heidi.
IT?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning, Tim.
IT is here requesting to approve the purchase of the annual Proxy Pro remote access license from Proxy Networks for $2,797.64.
Okay.
And also to request the ratification of the purchase of the replacement Dell desktop PC for the ITS help desk from Dell for $1,075.32.
Any questions for Tim?
Nope.
Thank you.
Nope,
Thanks,
you,
Tim.
Sheriff Powers?
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Dave.
Morning.
I'm here requesting approval of approval of the repairs to our 2015 Ford Taurus Interceptor to get it through state inspection. The estimate is $3,397.97. I'm hoping to cut that way back. The big problem is the headlights are so weathered. I'm gonna try and see if I can find some used ones or if we can polish those.
Okay,
But that's what the estimate's for.
okay.
I'm also requesting to approve the purchase of a tent for the mobile license to carry from Starn Marketing for $1,620. I'm asking that that be paid for out of the abandoned firearm sales money. And lastly,
So, just a question, I'm sorry. So that tent is gonna be, it's gonna have sheriff's department markings on it and all that kind of thing, so it's gonna be,
yeah, and I'm hoping to use the public safety truck as much as I can, so that it
Okay.
should last a long time.
okay,
But when we go to, if we go to an event that, you know, we don't have access to the truck, then we can use the tent.
Okay,
okay.
Lastly, I'm requesting approval of a purchase of a Rubbermaid utility cart. We're gonna convert it to make it a mobile gun rack for the safe movement of PFA seized firearms in and out of the judicial center. And I'm asking to pay that out of the abandoned firearms sales. That bid I got from Tim for a while ago, and he's been out. I haven't been able to get an updated bid, but it should be close to that.
any questions for Dave? Okay, thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Public Safety? Director Beveridge? Good morning.
Morning, Greg.
Morning, Greg.
We're just gonna ask for your approval to renew the annual maintenance agreement for the breathing air trailer with breathing air systems at a cost of $1,548.98. It's a budgeted item, it's a requirement. I'm also looking for your approval for the Northwestern Pennsylvania Emergency Response Group grant from Department of Homeland Security in the amount of $306,111 for the Tri-County area in the city of Erie. And approval for the purchase of 7 MSA chargers and cylinder holders from the Hazmat Response Fund grant and Tier 2 funds in the amount of $23,408. That goes back to last year as well, where they bought several of those same items for fire departments for distribution. And lastly, requesting our annual maintenance agreement with InSync for the CAD link support for our records management system for CAD in the amount of $1,199.
Any questions for Greg? Did you get your HVAC problem fixed? We were there yesterday, it was actually normal temperature, so I wondered if you,
Well, it hasn't broken a week or two.
oh, okay,
so
so,
it's okay.
thank you. County maintenance?
Morning, Mark.
Morning, Mark.
Mark?
Requesting to ratify approval to pay invoices for the courthouse remodeling project for the HVAC project, $320.84 to Granger.
Okay,
Requesting approval to pay an invoice from the Eads Group for the Crawford County Bridge number 8, Creek Road. This is for professional engineering services, $5,487.23. This will be paid for with the liquid fuels money. And requesting approval to pay an invoice from Eads Group. This is for our bridge number 26 on Glendon Road for professional services for $2,155.61. This will also be paid for with liquid fuels money.
that's all you got, huh?
Yeah.
No way, all right, thanks.
It's
Mark,
awesome.
one of those two bridges, that's the ones we encumbered funds for last meeting, correct?
The one we encumbered for 8, the construction on 8, which will be done next year. Glendon's just finishing up.
Yeah, so that'd be B, the Creek Road Bridge.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Crawford County Planning,
Morning, Zachary.
morning, Zach.
I'll make up for this short.
I see that.
First item this morning, we're asking for application payment for TerraWorks. The amount's $20,538.91. It's a partial payment for the city of Titusville's Diamond Street project. It's paid for out of the 2020 CDBG program for the city of Titusville. And then item B is the other partial payment for TerraWorks in the amount of $78,421.43. This is out of the city's CDBG CV program. The project is split between multiple budget years. The next item, we're asking for approval of payment for invoice number 286574 from Forever Media. This is for the fair housing advertisement, on radio advertisements. It's $180, and it's paid for out of the CDBG 2819 program. The item D is an invoice from Meadville Tribune in the amount of the invoice number is 772656. The amount is $490.50. This is for a publication notification for West Fallowfield Townships, this should not say West Fallowfield, this should say North Shenango's First Street project. And that notification is paid for out of our 2019 fiscal year. So we'll make that change, North Shenango.
The rest is okay.
Everything else is correct,
Okay,
just the location's different. Item E, we're asking for payment of invoice from 10/20/2022 8 from Pashik MTR in the amount of $3,137.50. This is for engineering services associated with the City of Titusville's Diamond Street Park project. This is paid for out of the City of Titusville's fiscal year 2020 CDBG program. We're also asking under F for the purchase of 2 Dell monitors and an Optiplex computer. The total amount, $1,213.42. This is a replacement computer for the office manager's system. IT provided this, the quote from Dell, and this would be not budgeted item. We're requesting approval of a letter of understanding between Crawford County and West Fallowfield Township. This is West Fallowfield Townships. This is where I think the mistake was made in typing. The agreement between the township and the county is for CDBG entitlement years, fiscal year 2020 and 2021. We already have an existing agreement with them. This decreases the amount that the county had awarded for the project because the bid came under what was expected. Okay. We're asking also for approval of a resolution to provide a 5-year LRTA for a commercial business improvement at 17186 Park Avenue Extension, Woodcock Township. The board previously approved the application that was submitted. This would be the resolution establishing the 5-year LRTA that would be a 20% tax abatement realized on that property. And then finally, we're asking for a resolution to authorize Commissioner Henry and Commissioner Wiederspan to execute an electronic contract between Crawford County and the Commonwealth for the $1.2 million Heidi Cooper Project CDBG award that we received earlier this month.
Any questions for Zach?
You guys can handle that, all right?
I think so.
We'll do our best.
All right.
Unless you want to. I'm fine.
No, that's all right. I don't feel bad that I'm cut out of being, at all.
Thank you, Zach.
Gentlemen.
Human Services?
Good morning.
Morning, Sue.
Morning.
I'm requesting approval of 2 memorandums of understanding and an attestation form to submit with a grant application. The grant proposal is for the inclusion of peer services in behavioral health crisis intervention services. The 2 MOUs are between Crawford County Human Services and Mercer County Behavioral Health, which is our crisis provider, and between Crawford County Human Services and CHAPS, which is our peer support services provider. The attestation is stating agreement with the terms of this funding opportunity should we be approved for the grant. Requesting to ratify payment to the Center for Family Services for the delivery of ERAP 2 services through 11/7/22, totaling $188,505.06, with no cost to the county, all paid with ERAP 2 funds.
Where are we with ERAP 2 funds? Do we know?
I
Still
really
have a-
don't know, but we are extending the contract for another year, so
So we must, okay.
yeah, we still have quite,
I just wonder how much longer we'll have these, that's all.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm requesting approval of the purchase requisition to John Amato, Family Links, to provide a training on understanding and managing compassion fatigue. He would provide a half-day training for our BCMs and a half-day training for the staff at Renewed Life Haven. The total cost of the training for both half-days is $1,200. The cost to the county is $64.07.
Just make a note that this is not former Commissioner John Amato. I
No.
believe he made that distinction when we approved this John
Does
Amato a
sound
couple years
familiar.
ago as well, so.
Compassion fatigue training? Yeah,
You don't
I
think that's
agree.
John?
No, it's not John.
Come on.
I'm requesting to ratify the purchase requisition for training costs associated with sending our SOC coordinator to a training in Salt Lake City, Utah. The training costs include airfare, lodging, meals, and transportation. The training is a Train the Trainer forum that is required in order for us to move forward with crisis intervention team training, which is a goal documented in our Human Services Block Grant Plan for fiscal year 22-23. CIT is an international evidence-based program used with police officers and first responders. It involves teaching mental health practitioners, law enforcement, medical personnel, and other first responders how to work in a team approach in helping mental health consumers in a crisis situation. The cost of the training is $4,771.18. There is no cost to the county, all paid for through the Northwest Behavioral Health Partnership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep,
And thanks, Sue, for helping us get the clarification with our questions and stuff.
yep, no
And
problem.
Greatly appreciated.
And thank the partnership as well for
Yeah,
agreeing to
absolutely.
fund that, so
Yep.
please convey our thanks. to
I
them.
will, thank you. I'm requesting approval of Amendment C1 to the fiscal year 21-22 professional contract with the Center for Family Services. The original contract for ERAP 2 funding was for calendar year 2022 and totaled $4,690,704.59. This amendment is extending the contract end date from December 31st, 2022 to December 31st, 2023. As all of the funding has not yet been spent and ERAP 2 is allowed to be utilized through 2025. The amount of funding remains the same. Requesting approval of the CYS JP fiscal year 22-23 contract with the Center for Family Services for in-home counseling, parenting education, homemaker education, anger management, and the peer support advocacy program. These are the same services as fiscal year 21-22. The rate for in-home counseling remains the same, but all other services increased. Requesting to ratify the CYS JP fiscal year 22-23 contract with LifeNet. This contract is for in-home family preservation services for a child placed in a kinship home in Wyoming. The provider is located in Douglas, Wyoming, and was recommended by Converse County, Wyoming's Department of Family Services. Services began on November 7th and were only provided on that day as the child was placed into a shelter due to their behavior, and the child will be returning to Pennsylvania shortly, if not already. Therefore, this contract is only needed to cover 1 day of services. Requesting approval of the CYSJP fiscal year 22-23 contract with Shippenville Project Point of Light for sexual offender evaluations, social evaluations, counseling, group therapy, polygraph, IPPC, court appearance, and telephone testimony services. Our last contract with this provider was fiscal year 19-20. We did not contract with them for the past 2 years due to a lack of utilization for many years. These are the same services as fiscal year 19-20, but most rates are higher. Requesting approval of the CYSJP fiscal year 22-23 contract with the Bear Foundation for foster care services. These are the same services that we contracted for in fiscal year 21-22 with a couple of exceptions, and they would not accept a contract that did not include a rate increase. Requesting approval for the CYSJP contract with Tradewinds Counseling Services for diagnostic, counseling, group, court, team meeting, polygraph, ABLE assessment, psychosocial risk assessment, and comprehensive trauma evaluation. These are the same services and rates as fiscal year 21-22. And finally, requesting approval of the mental health IDEI fiscal year 22-23 contract with the Center for Family Services for special outreach, parenting, and anger management. These are the same services and rates as fiscal year 21-22.
Any questions for Sue? Thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
Finance?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Stephanie.
For your approval, I have invoices totaling $49,740. The first is to Community Health Services. It's the MATP fiscal year 22-23 trip reimbursement for the month of October. The invoice number is 157. The amount is $47,965, and that comes from the MATP fund. The second is to NACO. It's the 2023 county dues. The invoice number is 2022-16765 in the amount of $1,775, and that comes from the commissioners. Then for your ratification, I have invoices totaling $720,303.16. The first is to CNB Bank. It's the 2015 Judicial Center loan. The amount is for $420,088.76. This comes from other operating expenses, principal and interest for 2015. The second is to CNB Bank. It's the 2016 Judicial Center loan in the amount of $285,599.07. This one comes from other operating expenses, principal and interest for 2016. And finally, we have an invoice to LexisNexis, Matthew Bender. It is for multiple publications. The invoice number is 32909-462. The amount is $14,615.33, and that comes from the law library at the courts.
Any questions for Stephanie? Commissioners?
Okay, I have an Act 14, 67, and 68 notification from Dyson Helmy for a small flow sewage treatment facility for a single-family residence in Springboro, PA. And a notification from Porter Consulting for permit registration for land pier restoration in Sadsbury Township.
Okay. So upcoming events, we have a full session on November 23rd. Of course, the courthouse will be closed the 24th and the 25th for Thanksgiving, followed by December 7th and then December 14th. Any public comment? Commissioner comments? Commissioner Weiderspan?
I have none this morning, sir.
Commissioner Saul?
Other than congratulations to the Maplewood girls
Way to catch that, I was gonna say.
volleyball team. Well, you can
Not your fault.
add on,
No, you're good.
on their way to states for the
Very
state championship.
Very cool. Commissioner Saul?
I have nothing to add. Thank you.
That was it, Francis?
Well, you can go ahead.
Well, good luck to the Meadville Bulldog High School football team they're playing this weekend too,
Absolutely.
so it's good to see local teams doing well. That being said, we'll see you next week. Thank you.